Daisy was a wonderful little girl. She brought an awful lot of joy to our lives. When Daisy was 4.5 months old, she was diagnosed with epilepsy, a catastrophic form of epilepsy, Dravet syndrome. The bottom dropped out of our world. It was a nightmare. We had lots of different medication. Each new medication brought a different set of side effects and more seizures. We got to a point where we were in some sort of kind of seizure madness. Nothing was working, nothing was controlling her seizures. We found out about the ketogenic diet from a friend who was living in America. To think that we would be able to control Daisy's, or potentially be able to control Daisy's seizures through a natural diet was just beyond our wildest dreams. Very little was known about the diet in the UK. There was one dietitian at a major London children's hospital with experience of the ketogenic diet, but they weren't actually running it in the UK. So we were told we couldn't try it. We were also told that the diet was quite revolting. It was a revolting diet, really hard to run, and it probably wouldn't work for Daisy. I still wanted to try the diet. Anything was better than giving syringes of medication and seeing your child seize all day and have side effects. So every hospital appointment we went to, we asked about the diet. And in the end, our consultant gave in and said we could try the diet. Once the diet was established, then Daisy, slowly her seizures reduced. Her development really came on in leaps and bounds. And we really got to see the little girl behind all the medication. The diet really allowed us to meet Daisy for the first time. We got to 100 seizure-free days and we threw a little party. When Daisy came off all her medication, we could see that this diet was powerful enough to control her epilepsy. It was powerful enough to control her epilepsy where medication failed. I can remember putting Daisy to bed at 7 o'clock in the evening. We had just put Daisy back into her own room because her seizures were under control. Previous to that, she had slept with myself and my husband David. But we felt that we could put Daisy into her own room because the seizures, as I say, were under control. When I put Daisy to bed, I can remember her quite vividly giving me a really big hug. And it was such a lovely big hug. It felt like it was coming from a grown-up, not a little 6-year-old. And when she finished hugging me, I remember looking at her and saying, "Oh, Daisy, that was a good hug." And Daisy just nodded at me. She nodded and smiled as though to say, "Yeah, that was a good hug." And then she went up to bed. I went to bed about 11 o'clock that evening and checked on Daisy. She was absolutely fine. The next thing I remember was my husband David shaking me, saying, Sarah, quickly come in here. I don't know if Daisy's breathing." And I remember rushing in to Daisy's room and thinking, I don't know that she's breathing. She didn't feel very warm. She was laying face down. I remember thinking, how has this happened? How has this happened? And it's every parent's nightmare. If you have a child with epilepsy, there's always the risk of SUDEP, sudden unexpected death in epilepsy, at the back of your minds, but you just don't think it's going to happen to you. And it did, it happened to us. When Daisy was on the ketogenic diet, there was very little known about the diet in the UK. The Daisy Garland, over the years, have changed this. We have funded ketogenic dietitians, placing them in hospitals nationwide, making the diet freely available to children with drug-resistant epilepsy.
A lot of research has been undertaken as to how the ketogenic diet works, and I have to be honest, we don't completely understand it, but what we do know is that by giving children a high-fat, low carbohydrate, restricted protein diet, we can make their body produce these substances called ketone bodies. Now these ketone bodies provide a fuel for the brain. And when you provide the brain ketones instead of glucose, which is the normal fuel for the brain, the risk of epileptic seizures declines.
Since starting the ketogenic diet, Maddie's gone from having lots of seizures to only having 3 in the last year, which is just unbelievable.
It's just been incredible. We've had a huge change. Our little girl has just completely changed. She's cognitively, she has improved so much. Her speech is coming along, she's so much happier, it's wonderful. Her seizures have reduced.
Up until about 3 years ago, our waiting list was 18 months to 2 years for children going on the diet. However, now that we've had a Daisy Garland dietitian in post, that waiting list is almost non-existent.
Had we had some form of nighttime monitoring for Daisy while she was asleep, I have to question whether she would be here with us today. The Daisy Garland provide grants for nighttime breathing monitors. These monitors are a game changer for families. It means that they can plug in the monitor, they can put their child to bed, and that monitor will monitor their breathing, and it will also monitor if they have a seizure, and it will alarm loudly if the monitor does detect a seizure.
Before we had our monitor, we had to put Maddie up to bed in our bedroom. She had to sleep in with us because somebody needed to stay with her all the time, and it meant that we needed to go to bed at the same time that she did. The difference now is that she can go up in her bedroom, we can turn her monitor on, and we know that she's safe and secure, and we can come down and have a little bit of quality time ourselves, which has completely changed our lives.
One mum told us, "This is the first time I've eaten supper with my children and my husband for 5 years." These monitors are amazing and they save lives. As well as funding Daisy Garland ketogenic dietitians and providing monitors, we also offer full wraparound support for families. We send ketogenic welcome boxes to every family starting the diet who lives in the UK. Boxes are full of lots of really useful essentials which will help them get off to a positive start on their ketogenic journey. We also have a parent support forum called Daisy's Keto Cafe. It's a safe, closed forum where families get together and they can talk about having a child with epilepsy, what life is like. They can exchange recipes, ketogenic tips and ideas. They know that families in the cafe are in the same boat as themselves. They all get each other, they get it. We also offer several ketogenic cookery sessions a year, and it's a great place for parents to get together under one roof and to learn about the ketogenic diet.
Realising that our daughter's epilepsy is drug resistant has been a really isolating experience. So apart from just coming here today to learn about new ways to cook, it's an opportunity to meet other families, and it's made the whole thing feel more like a big community, which is massively helpful for us in terms of feeling really supported.
It's hard to put into words how important the ketogenic diet is for these families. Many children I've seen are having hundreds, if not 200 seizures a day. So to introduce a diet and to support a family to make these massive changes, which are so difficult to do and so complicated for them, and then to see such a change in their child is amazing, really.
The Daisy Garland has funded so many dietitians around the United Kingdom based in the children's hospitals, so it has allowed easy access to the ketogenic diet throughout the United Kingdom. And I think this is critical for children with epilepsy because it provides another option for treatment for the large numbers of children with drug-resistant epilepsy.
I can't put it into words. I can't put it into words how much the Daisy Garland has supported us throughout our whole epilepsy journey, but also in the ketogenic diet, and the group forum has been really, really helpful. Lots of keto mums giving each other advice, and Sarah's always there asking how we're getting on.
It's wonderful to be able to empower families and to help them on their epilepsy journey, whether we're telling them about the ketogenic diet and making them aware of that, or whether we're providing them with a grant for a nighttime breathing monitor. I really hope that we just make their lives a little bit better and a little bit easier. It's really the care that we didn't have and the support that we didn't have when Daisy was with us.